Good evening, guys. Is anybody there? How are we doing? Good evening. Right, as the title says, I've gone back to basics just for the first hour, just in case we get some new people that have started with Steam today join. So I'm gonna go and do a little bit on Mosquito, and we'll see if we can find a good spot for grinding XP and silver with the bream. So yeah, I've stripped back my gear to pretty much basic stuff. Just got potatoes, which is probably the only thing that a new player won't have access to, and maybe the pearl barley. The rest is just food and a couple of feeders, basic feeders, 2 telesticks. Let's see if we can get some Neelos. Thanks for joining. Rave Wolf, good evening. How are we doing, guys? So yeah, I'm gonna skip the cottage pond. It's pretty easy, really. We can just demonstrate with one. Oh, Cheech, good evening, mate. See if we can get a fish, then we'll move. I'm okay for pea porridge, mate. I'm okay for that. We'll save that for a little bit later. So yeah, so I just want to just go over the basics really for new players, and then we'll move on and do the higher level stuff a little bit later. Drabman, thanks for the horse, mate. Wes, good evening, mate. How you doing? So I think we'll just go over to just want to go over to Mosquito. And I'll see if I can find the Bream hotspot, just to show new players, help them level up a little bit quicker and get some silver. Right, so here we are, village. Get some free food. When I move on to my other account, Drabman, later, I'll be doing a few giveaways. Yeah, I can't do giveaways with this one because this low level account hasn't got anything to give away. I'll switch to my other one. So I'll get some free food from the field kitchen, and we'll go over to. We'll give it a try anyway. This dock. So, if we fish from here, I think we should get bream, unless it's been moved. Always good for bream for you, yeah. Well, we'll try here, because when I fished here the other day, I was getting a few. So let's swap this out. Put a size 14 on. Maggot. And I think it was about 80% cast, maybe a little bit more than that. Sort of in that direction into the into this hole here. Joseph, are you still fishing this spot at your low level for the bream? You was asking me how do you level up quick? So this is probably the best way. And I'm going to fish. Let's put that about 60. Toss that out just there. So yeah, this is what I was saying to you before. Fish here, 70 to 80% cast straight out in that hole with maggot, and you should get bream. Let's see if it works. We should, he says, we should get bream. So Neil, you were saying opposite side to the tent was always good. I think they get moved around though, don't they? So it's a bit hit and miss. First fish. Another point. We need 28%, so I can 38, 30% to start using Bolognese Rod. Need to repair my reel. I need to go to another. Go to Winding River. Which bit do you need to repair, Drabman? Is it the mechanism or is it the friction brake? The brake, right? You're better off going back to Oldburg. Yeah, they'll. I told you they'll wreck your stuff. Those sabers are not really meant for big fish. Not that big anyway. I've been good, man. How are you? Yeah, there's not much happening with the... Hey, Ryan. Not much happening with the feeder, guys. Thought we would have had a bit of something by now. So maybe move around the lake. We'll have a look at them other spots. See how they do. Give this a few more minutes. See if we can get one on the feeder rod. If not, we'll move. And that's good, man. So I'm playing on Steam version of the game now. Has everybody else swapped to Steam, or are you all still using the RF4 client? You're on Steam. I think one of the main beauties of Steam version is the speed that you can download it. Whereas the RF4 client was slow most of the time. Took a while to download directly from RF4. Now it's much quicker. Now Steam are controlling it. Right, I'm gonna wait, see if there's a fish on that other rod maybe. And then we'll move round. No, nothing happening, is there? I was hoping this spot would still work. Because it was pretty much nailed on the other day for bream. What settings you play on? My settings are audio. Let's turn this down a little bit. That's okay. Video, I've got it turned down slightly for the stream. Brightness, I've got cranked up to that. Contrast, dropped down to this. Range of rendering, I've got it probably 50%. And that's my, the rest of my settings. Control, default. Chart default. And general, all default. Right, let's move around. I'll show you this other spot that used to work. Maybe it's working now, maybe it's not. We'll test. So this spot was good. Here. So at 55.45, if you look in the little compass thing, the two sets of numbers are your coordinates. So that's, we're actually 56.45, and it's where where it slopes down into the water. And then we'll fish with the feeder just out here in this weed. And then with the got 5 fish trying for that citron, but not a single one. And then here I normally fish about 85 centimeters deep, and around these dead tree things here is normally good. Let's see what happens. Drabman, I've not set up my green screen, and it's pretty dark in here at the moment, so I'm not going to use the camera tonight. Here we go, got a bite. Bite. An allergic reaction. You're not allergic to RF4, are you? There we go. Another point on float fishing. For sure it would be. Doesn't look like anything's happening on the feeder here, guys, so we'll move on to another spot. I'm going to go over to, what I'll do, I'll show you those tench spots on Mosquito, not Mosquito, Old Berg. We'll go and try some different spots over there. Looks like there's a comp starting. Where's he fishing? Where's that being fished? Bear Lake. Oof, I was over there with my other one. What a tench bite on best. Struggling hard to catch him. You know what? It's pretty much cheese, little hatch. Cheese is probably the best bait for them. You can get them on other things, but cheese is the main one. Well, you don't have access to cheese cubes. So what's close second? Well, we'll see. I'm going to move around to this other spot now. Nothing much is happening here. So I'll try another place. And hopefully, noob, good evening. Hopefully we'll get a tench and I'll see what they're taking. I haven't actually got any cheese with this account. I've left it all in the cottage over on Cottage Pond. It is a good spot as well. Next to this grass. Is normally a good spot. And then the other one is through the long grass. So around here where the broken platform is. Let's look for the broken platform. Near the lilies. It's good for tench. Here it's good as well. Between the lily pads and the reeds. Yeah. And try caster. Let's try caster. So let's flick that out there. See if we can get a tench on that. And then with the feeder rod, I've actually got a piece of cheese on that one. That's the one we want. Potato's pretty good. You can get potato. You probably have access to potato from level 6, I think it is. Go over to Winding River and go to the farmer's market. You can buy raw potatoes, and if you go to your crafting, click on potato cubes and select your raw potato and you make your diced potato that you can use for carp. I haven't actually unlocked this bit yet, so this will be the next one. So I think it's part of bait harvesting, yep. So I'm up to potato cubes. Next is at 20% making pearl barley. So yeah, let's use the potato, the old spot, see if it works here. Oh, we got a fish on. Did a tench. Gibble. Potatoes have been slaying it on the grass carp for me recently. Nothing now on Burr Lake. They come and go, Drabman. Burr Lake's one of those places where you might catch loads of fish for about an hour and then it'll go quiet for an hour and then maybe come back again. So I'm using size 16 with caster, basic bobber, and my line. It's pretty important that your line doesn't exceed, the kg of the line does not exceed the load capacity of your telestick. Otherwise you will just snap the telestick and not the line. I'd getting closer to 30%. So I'm fishing. I think I'm just off the bottom. How deep is it? It's a metre deep-ish here in this bit. And I'm at 85 centimetres. So that's what? 6 inches off the bottom. Missed that one. So we'll bring up the we'll switch to the higher level account a little bit later. And I'm probably going to go back on to Burr Lake. I bought a load of boilies earlier on. The old pal boilies seem to be the best, like the highest star rating. So what I've done, I made a list of all the different ones that I'd got. And the ones that I hadn't got, I've bought those. So I can do some testing. Find out, because when there's an update and they reset the servers, they sort of, the fish get reset. So they're the preferred baits that you would have been catching on might not be working anymore, so you've got to test, find out what they start taking again and where they are. So that's pretty much what I've done. I've just bought one of everything of the old pal boilies, and I'll try them, see what we get. Oh man, fish got away. What line should I get for a 6 kg reel? Something like 10 kg. No. You've got 555 followers. Nice. Right, we've got a fish on. Got 2 tench in 1.5 hour at Oldberg. Well, that's a bit slow then, Ferrant. What does he say there, raw stoner? Dragon 40s. Yep. Oh, I thought we was going to get another skill point. Come on, skill points. Could do with that Bolognese Rod setup. Then we can float fish for some bigger tench. Limitless, good evening. How are you doing? Guys in chat, is there any new players in chat? Can you say if you're a new player or not? You know, if you started playing the game today and you're in chat. Trying to get some tenches, but I'm kind of unlucky. Limitless, where are you fishing? No new players in chat. Nobody just started today. Oldberg 3757. Okay. Pretty much, it was cheese. Cheese was the bait for the last few days. But people are saying it's going a bit slow over there at the moment. But yeah, cheese, so like size 12 hook, diced cheese, that was getting the tench. Few hot spots. We're going to move over there in, how long have we been on? Probably in 10 minutes or so, we'll move over onto Oldberg. Have a look at some spots. I know a couple of I know a couple of different spots where the tents used to be. Can try those, and obviously, if you see them and it's quiet where you're fishing, you can always give them a go and see if they work for you. Yeah, could be where you're fishing, Limitless. You know, the tench might not be there. It's not like it's not a game like Fishing Planet where you know you can always go and cast to a certain spot and get a certain species of fish. It doesn't really work that way on this one, which is a good thing, really. I think it can be a bit easy, like if you like Fishing Planet, it's a little bit easy. This is a bit. It's like a step up. It's more simulated. Yeah, nice chant, Joseph. Thank you. Yeah. Any questions? Ask Joseph. He'll tell you. So yeah, they do move them around a lot. They do, you know, they update the server quite often, and that moves the that sort of moves the fish around. So there you go. Reckless is at 38.57. It's real quiet. I don't know, Reckless, if they've done a big update today. I saw your highlights on YouTube when you get in tenches. You've watched Shimino as well, yeah? You've been everywhere. Is the spot, is it 31, 33, something like that? Near the camp? That used to be really good. Nighttime, guys, on Mosquito. Most of you will know, but new players, it can go quiet. If it does go quiet, try using a worm. If you're struggling for a bite, switch to a worm. Not even a single bite. Oh, disappointed. Have you tried the pond? You know the pond where the little bridge is? You go past the little bridge and it goes into the pond at the bottom. That used to be good on there for big tench. We'll go and try them anyway. Gonna go over there in a minute. Same. Oof. I think everybody must have caught the fish then. It sounds like they've all gone. Man, I can't eat these bites. I think it might be these hooks. I've one feeder with night crawlers, one with cheese, one with worm. Getting like one per 3/4 hours in game. Come on, where's all these damn fish? Let's try it here. Struggling to get a bite, guys. Nothing on bottom. Struggling. You've eaten them all. Man, I can't even hit these bites. Why? Come on, this time I'm hitting this. Patience. Wait till it takes it properly. You're so hungry. Yes, got it this time. Got you this time, sucker. Yep, 28.7. Come on. 1.3% required for Bolognese setup. Come on. Let's have you. What have we caught so far? 9 fish. Well, it's better than the stick. It's like the next stage up from the stick. And because it's better because if you do get a decent one on, at least you can let it take line. With the stick, you're limited if it's a big fish or if it's, you know, a slightly bigger fish. You can't really do anything about stopping it. You've just got to hope that it doesn't pull too much. Oh, I thought that was a tench. 28.9. Otherwise, yeah, you just lose them with the stick. But with the Bolognese rod, you're using a reel, so you can let it take as much line as you've got on the reel to try and tire it out. You can use sticks. You could use bigger sticks, I suppose. You could, you know, you can get like 8-meter ones. What's a good beginner feeder setup? I'll show you the ones I use. Oh man, I've missed that one. Which is what I've used from the beginning on this low level account. So it's this. So let's get rid of these. So yeah, your rod is the Sorrento. I use the FD130 because it's slightly longer than the other ones. It's a 5 kilo rod. And I'm using a lxCROSSYxl 4000S 5.5 kilo reel. You want to, they don't have to be the same, but your line should not, at this low level, your line shouldn't exceed that or that. So I've got the line matches the rod and the reel is slightly more powerful than the line. So by rights, the line should give before anything else. But that's pretty balanced. So yeah, that's a balanced feeder rod, a beginner feeder rod. A lxCROSSYxl, an FD130 or 120 Sorrento, and 5 kilo line. Make sure you put like 350 meter spool on it, because if you only put the 100 on, you might hook into like 5-6 kilo common carp, and they are pretty powerful. Even though they're not that big, they are powerful swimmers and they will spool. They'll take all the line off the reel if you've only put 100-meter spool on it quite easily. So always get the 350. At least it fills the spool up. And if you're only fishing on here, with the 350, you can let it swim as far as it wants, and it won't take all the line off the spool. It can swim from here to the village, and it won't take all the line off. So you're pretty safe with that. So that's your basic feeder rod setup, and that's it there. So it's Sorrento. They're about, I think the rod's about 48 silver, something like that, and the reel over here on Mosquito is about 98 something. So in total, with the line as well, you're probably looking like you need about 160 silver. So grind out the silver with your telestick, and then go and get yourself one of them. Don't be tempted to buy the spark. The spark reel, yeah, it's cheap, but you probably end up breaking more of them than you actually land fish. So yeah, don't waste your money on a spark. Just grind out a little bit longer with the telestick and get yourself a lxCROSSYxl. They're a pretty decent reel. So it's just a matter of doing this. So worm, maggot, both pretty good at grinding low level stuff. Here we go. Now we've got something on the feeder. There it goes. Right. Oh, it's only small. Is it a gibble? Gibble carp. So 0.2 to bottom fishing. I'm just fishing there in them lilies. Another thing I'd say to get early on, if you can, I think you start with 50 silver, something like that. Don't be tempted to like blow it on, you know, like a rod or whatever straight away. Wait, grind out using just your telestick. But I would advise buying a landing net. So yeah, your landing net is pretty essential, really. Part of your kit early on. Get yourself one of them. Or pick up the map from admin as well. Get yourself a map. It's really handy because it shows you exactly where you are and what direction you're pointing. So you can find these spots a lot easier when you've got one of these maps. The other thing I'd say is handy when you're low level, when you can, buy yourself a shovel. You get the shovels from the workshop, the little cabin workshop. Go into workshop and click on store. You'll find a shovel. Buy yourself one of them early on, and you can dig for worms. And it also increases your skill, bait harvesting skill. There we go. So I've just dug a worm up, got one worm, and it's given me 0.2 to bait harvesting. So I'm now 10.7%. So if we check that out, bait harvesting, this is what the progress that you unlock. So my next unlock is at 20. But yeah, all these things, these are quite handy. All the way down to like 100%, where you can harvest mussel meat and rhino beetle larvae for the big sturgeon. So yeah, buy yourself a shovel early doors, and you'll not only will you be increasing your skill, you'll also be providing yourself with bait. When should I repair my reels? They're at 5.6. What sort of reels are they, Ryan? Are they golds? If they're gold 80s or 60s, you're alright to about 25%. I think a while ago people were just repairing reels too soon, and it was costing a lot of they were wasting a lot of silver unnecessarily. The reels are a lot tougher than you think. Well, as the star rating of the reel goes up, the better the mechanisms and the friction brakes and stuff like that are. Hello, Dan. Good evening, mate. So yeah, don't be tempted to repair your friction brake or the mech too soon. Mechanism, yeah, on a gold 80, I'd say 25. I've looked at it at 25%. Okay, Dan. Friction brake, probably a little bit longer than that. The way you can tell if it's in need is like if you've got a decent fish on and you've turned your friction brake up to number 29 and the fish is still like just pulling the line off like it's really easy, then it's time to go and get it repaired. You know, if you get the fish in and you think, wow, that fish isn't very big, but it seemed to be taking the line really easily, it's probably because your mech or your friction brake is ready for repairing. Come on, give us another point. Give us another skill point. One more. Oh, this is a nice looking gibble. There we go. Yep. 29%, guys. 1 more percent. 1 more percent. It sounds like nothing, but it can take an hour. Right, well, that's not necessarily a reel, Ryan. That could be when it goes, the bar along the bottom doesn't show. What all that shows is the tension on your weakest part of your setup. So it could be your line. Your line might be getting a bit worn. You have to look at the setup in the hole and find out which is the weakest part. So like this one I'm using, I've got no damage. I don't think there's any. Oh, the 0.1% wear on my Telestick, and the line has got 0.4. So the weakest part of my setup here is the line. Not only is it not as powerful as the rod, but it's also got more damage than what the rod has. So yeah, if this line is like 3.5 kilos, if that had 10% wear off on it, you could knock off 0.35 of a kilo of the overall strength of the line. So that's how that works. So that tension, what you see along the bottom there, is just showing the pressure that's on the weakest part of your kit. We're nearly there. Nearly there. Let me hit this 30% and then we'll make a move. So the weakest part of the kit on this, put a hook on it. See, this has got 0.3 damage on my Sorrento rod, but the Lacerti reel's got 4.4% damage, and the 5 kg line has got 3% damage. So the line is still the weakest weakest part of that setup. Soon that reel is going to be, if I put a brand new spool of line on there, the reel would be the weaker point, or would soon be the weaker point anyway. That damage was done by catching tench over on Old Berg. Hooks matter too. Actually broke a hook today. You broke a hook? There we go. Woohoo, we're getting closer. So let's have a look at the hooks. So that actually says there's no wear, but yeah, your hooks do get worn as well. You must have really worn it out then, Psycho Dad. Let's have a look at the other one. Did I have any wear on the other setup? No, I think that's a new hook, all that. Yeah, but yeah, look at your look at the whole setup. Check each bit. Look what's got wear on it, how much damage it's got, and that will tell you your weakest part of your setup. Obviously, the perfect setup is when it's all brand new. Then you would look at what is the least strength. So by rights, it should be your line that's got the weakest strength. Mine didn't have wear, but I forgot to take a size 24 off and caught something a bit big. Wow. Missed that one. Missed that one. Reading chat. Any new players now in chat? Can you if you're new to the game today, can you speak up? And we'll Drabman, you're not new. Don't try and trick me. Oh, Roach. Sent you an incomplete baby spinner set, dude, for a new player. Okay. Thanks, Reckless. We'll pass that on. Thank you for that, man. Where the fish? I don't know where the fish are, man. You've been playing it now long enough, Drabman. You should be able to experiment now. See what you can get them on. Swap your baits. You waited 2 days. Nothing. Yep. I told you Burr Lake is not easy. People think it's easy. It's just full of big fish, but it's not easy. It's not an easy lake. Far from it. You got to think of, as the level increases, the difficulty of the lakes also increases slightly. You know, you can get lucky. You can figure out like where everybody's catching, and you know, everybody tells each other what they're catching and where they're getting them, and what they're catching them on, which does help. But it does dry up, and you've got to figure it out what they might be wanting to take next and where the fish might be. Which fish, in your opinion, is the best for grind when I want to get shit tons of silver? Depends what lake you're on. Limitless. If you're on, say, here, it's probably bream. If you can find the bream on here, that's going to be your best bet. 1-2 kilo bream, bring in quite a bit of silver. Over on Old Berg, it was tench. Black carp give decent amounts. But then you've got a decent fight on your hands. Over on Kure, I'd say fishing for things like char, Kure char, are better than fishing for, say, lake trout. Savannah are pretty good over on Kure. After that, you're looking at Burr Lake. Burr Lake, you know, carp is the main species if you can keep them coming. Preferably the leather carp give more per pound, per kilo than what common carp and mirror carp do. Common carp you get the least, then it's mirror and then leather. After that, you're looking at Volkov. Volkov is, you know, decent amounts for Zander and the Atlantic salmon. Bream again, a lot of bream fishing going on in Volkov. And then Sura. Sura's where the, you know, if you can get into the Zander again, the Volga Zander, Sterlet and Sturgeon are where the money is. I think I've covered most of. As for winding rivulet, if you can find the Donitz rough, they're pretty rare, they're pretty hard to catch, but a really small fish, like 120 grams, will give you close on 7,000 XP. Actually, that 7,000 XP might be with premium. So you're looking at half of that. So a really small fish will give you 3,500 XP. And a decent amount of silver for a small fish. But they're a bit tricky to catch. I've had them fishing in the pool, which is like the little arm off the side of the river. Fish there. In the hole. So if you buy the map on Winding Rivulet, look for the arm of the river with the, it's like a little pond, and look at that, and there's a 2-meter hole in the middle. Fish on the bottom in that with like your telestick, with just a normal worm. So 2 meters deep, normal worm. Fish through the night. I'm not saying you'll get one straight away, but if you fish long enough, you get one. I did watch Lady of Games one night when they first introduced them to the game. She, I think she spent about 3 hours trying to catch one, but she got one. But I've had one in 10 minutes. So, you know, it can take a long time. You can get one pretty quick. They're called Donet's Rough. If I show you what they are. Go to weeklies. These are them here. These are the Donets. So you can see they're really small. And people have caught them on worm, maggot, bark beetle larva, or nightcrawler. But they're a nocturnal fish. So if you can get them, you're doing well. You're doing well. It's a challenging fish, but when you get one, it's like a proper sense of achievement, catching one. Right, I hate Chinese sleepers, guys. Right, let's try a little piece of pearl barley. See what this brings. If you find any info, Savantster, you can share it with chat. Yeah, they're really, honestly, when I first caught one, I was like, yes, what a fish. Damp, good evening, mate. You know, not smelly anymore, mate. Come on, give us a point. Give us a point. Give us a point. Oh, no point. What time will I switch account? Oh, damn. Thanks for the bits. Thank you, sir, for the bits. Ergo Potato on Switch. No, I haven't. I've never seen him. You got to download it again through Steam, damn. But it's quick. It's not like downloading it from RF4. It's really quick, like, you know, through Steam. I think you can then delete the client that you've got, the existing client. What time will I switch account? Probably in an hour, Dravman. And then we'll go over to Burr. Come on. Give me a point. Give me a point. Give me a point. Yes. 0.6 required. Right, let's cast that back out. For that other rod snaps. So yeah, once you've downloaded it through Steam, it'll put an extra icon on your desktop, which looks very similar to the original icon. And then when you obviously start it up, you'll get two options to log in, 2 buttons. So it looks exactly the same, but you've got an orange button and a blue button. Is my stream not up? What? What, Dave? I don't know what you mean, mate. Stream's running, innit? Yeah, you get a blue and an orange button for logging in. One's for logging in using your Steam account. So if you log in using that, so obviously your Steam username and password, it would then create a new character, because obviously it wouldn't recognize the username and password. So it would treat you as a new character, or you can use your normal one. Just click the orange button, orange login with your normal username. Come here, fish. Come on, level me up. Oh, no point. Oh, man. All I was saying was just download it from Steam. You'll get an extra... Obviously, you'll have it installed twice then, so remove the original if you want to use the Steam version. And then when you click the one that you just installed with Steam, you'll get two options, two login buttons underneath your username and password. If you want to use your original username and RF4 password, you put it in and you click the orange button. If you want to use a new one using your Steam name and password, you enter them credentials and hit the blue button, and that'll create a new character. I wouldn't, unless you want to do it so that you're not in. There we go. 0.2 required. So if we look at records, for instance, now we've got these extra regions. Before we had Russia and we had other. Now you've got these. So obviously America have got their own. So if you was to log in with Steam, you would be on that because it would recognize where you are. So you wouldn't be on my leaderboard anymore. I'm still on other because they've not given the UK their own leaderboard. We're still classed as other. Same goes with ratings. So the ratings have also been separated. Poland, France, Germany, Russia, and then you've got all. Yeah. That's what I'm using now, Reckless. I'm using Steam version, but I'm using my own credentials. I've not used my Steam account to log in. Otherwise, I'd end up starting from the beginning again with a third account. But yeah, obviously for the people that have just downloaded it today on the Steam, that's what they'll do. Obviously, it cuts out having to register with RF4. You don't need to register with them anymore. And also, it makes it much quicker for downloading. They're the two main advantages, I think. Come on, we're leveling up. Level up. Yes. We can now use... We have the ability to use a Bolognese Rod. Get in there. You just log in as you would. Just double click the icon on your desktop or go into Steam and click on play. I think it's obviously because Steam, when you log in with your Steam account, it knows what country you're from and what continent you're on and whatnot. So that's how it can separate everyone. There's a lot of new players coming through, yeah, Dave. If you check them leaderboards, mate, if we have a look, ratings, obviously Germany already had their own, but now we can actually see the German players. What's the top? So these are not new players because look, he's on 40. That's not happened in a day. But if we look at France, level 11, these are all new. These have just started today. So 65 new players from France. Poland, also new players. So there's 53 new players from Poland. USA have got... Oh, there's quite a lot from the USA. Top 100 are all from USA. So there's more than that, obviously, because it starts at level 2 there. Up to the highest one who's got to level 12 in one day since it was launched. China number 1, and they're up to level 9, highest level player. And they've got, again, There's over 100 players registered from China. The new region started showing yet for the fish catches. Yep. If we go to fish catches, go to China. See, they're all on mosquito because most people are still fishing mosquito. Oh, sorry, no. If we look at absolutes, there we go. There's some on winding. Is there anywhere else? So winding and mosquito are the ones. Probably botting already. Weekly. For China, USA weeklies. So yeah, Old Berg. Oh, there's some on Old Berg already catching. I think he was the top guy, wasn't he? This guy here seems to be number one for the he's got a Russian name though. So anyway, that's the score. With it, my target, I'm going to move from here back over to Old Berg now. And let's have a look for some tench for the last 50 minutes on this low level. Let's go and get rid of these fish. Let's go this way. Oh, stuck. Limitless. Pronounce it. Oh, you got fish. Nice. I told you they'd come back, Dravman. It's got to be patient. Fishing's a game of patience. So yeah, if you knew, this is where you can buy your shovel. So come to the workshop and click on store. And this is where you'll find the shovel. And the other items for crafting. Crafting lures and stuff like that. That's all here. You can craft lures from like 14 codling. Nice. Did you bring them home? Are they in the freezer, Dave? You can craft lures from like the beginning, I think. Let's check. Making lures. Yeah, you can start crafting lures if that's the route that you want to go down. From the very beginning of the game. Moscow spoon or a Novograd. And you do that by going to the store in the workshop and you can buy the mold. And you need a mold. You also need sandpaper and a block of tin bar. Once you've done that, you need some hooks, some treble hooks. Your hooks that you'll get from the tackle store. You go to hooks, scroll down, and these are the hooks that you want. Just buy the cheapest ones. I'll make one just to show you. So let's buy one of them. And what you do is you buy. I would go personally. I would make this one first, the Moscow spoon, the one shaped like a fish. So if we look at that, you need the shape, then need a hook, tin, sandpaper, and then you can craft those. And if you get up to 10%, then you can make the foam rubber fish, and they're pretty good. Right, here's where you get your map. So we'll move over onto Old Berg. I'll tell you what, we'll go via Winey River, and I'll show you that Donet's spot if you're wondering where it is. I can show you exactly where and what to try. Show people how to get free rod. I can show that as well a little bit later, Dave. I've got to go over there for some giveaway items. So buy your map. Get yourself a map. I think I've got a map from here already. Let me just check. Yeah, I've got the map. So you buy your map, and what you want to do is go across the river. So follow the river this way. So go right when you get across the bridge. Limitless, thank you for the follow, mate.
We can't face it alone.
And then when you get down here, you'll see like the river looks like it's split, but this is like a little arm off the river. So there's no current on this. And this is where you want to be fishing for them. So if you look across there, on the opposite side, see the mosque, the roof of the mosque or synagogue or whatever it is. If you can see that, you're in near enough the right spot. Check your map. And this is the hole that you want to be fishing in for them. It's a 2 meters deep hole. And this is where you'll find the Donets. So with your telestick, just set your depth. So 2 meters deep. And use just normal worm. Check the weeklies if you're unsure what they're going for. I think people have been catching them on maggot as well. Ryan, you caught yours on the main river. Well, this is where I caught mine. So once you've got your map, you can see exactly where you're pointing the rod if you're in the right direction. So just flick it out there. Using casters, can't remember. You've never had one. Well, this is where I've had them, Dave. And that's the method I used. So just on the bottom with a normal worm. If you struggle to get one, maybe try using different line. Maybe try using a fluorocarbon line, you know, where it's invisible. But it does cost a bit more. Yeah. Got a fish bite there. There we go. Oh, missed it. So this is the Donnet spot for me. Hello, Marvin. Good evening, mate. How you doing? So I'm pointing there, and I'm definitely in that 2 meter spot. So that's the Donnet spot, guys. What size hook for the donut? I think you can go a little bit bigger, to be honest. I'm on a 16 there. You could probably use a 14, to be honest. Stealthy Stewart, good evening, mate. How you doing? Right. So that was that spot. Let me go over to Berg now. $12 with caster. Yep, we've got a stack of baits off Marvin to give away to low level players or new players that have come through today. Like I say, if you're new to the game, guys, if you just started playing today, stick your name in chat or just speak up in chat, and we'll sort you out with some bait and whatnot. Right, spots. We've missed one straight away. So coming out of the village, good spot. Here. This is a good spot. So fishing on the edge of these. Let's make it shallower. On the edge of these lily pads here, I think it's about 135 deep. If you fish about 135, flick it out so you're just on the edge there like that. It's a pretty decent spot. You should get eels in this area as well if you're fishing with fish pieces, if you've got access to them. Fish on the bottom for eels. Let's put that down. Right, I can also now use the oh, it's gone. The Bolognese Rod. Chinese sleeper. Oof. Now let's get a feeder rod out. Let's use worm. Night time. Let's cast across there. Maybe not far enough for that. Towards that dead tree. We'll give that a go with the worm. There we go. Rave Wolf just reached level 9, well done. Here we go. What have we got? More gibble. I'll have to get back to you on that one, Dave. I'll be in touch. You're going for more eel, Ryan. Right, Ryan's the, well, he was, in the last few days, he's been like the goddamn eel master. Eel master. We'll wait till morning and then I'm going to go and show you 40 to 60 pound. I'll show you the other spots. Yeah, you don't really get them during the day. That's right, Drabman. Come on, take it. Ooh, what's this? That's not a gibble. It's a bream. There we go. Hint, it's in bream. Okay, Marvin, you take care, man. Thanks for dropping by. There we go, bream. Bream on the worm. Just fish there. There you go. Just standard worm, mate. Just standard worms. It's a good reason to buy the get the shovel early on. Dig those worms. Limitless, you can join my my in-game chat if you look for twitch.tv/Crossy. You can find us in there. There's a few in the group. There's like 14 players. Anybody who wants to join, you're free to join, guys. Just look for that in the channel lists. You'll find it down there on the T. There it is. Twitch TV Crossy. All is welcome. Everyone's welcome. We can all keep in touch. Hello, hello. Is this thing on? It is. You're coming in loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. You got some. I've not got pea porridge. Not with this account, Dave. Just trying to keep it pretty simple. And when I get pea porridge, I want to be able to show them how to craft it and whatnot. Obviously, with my other one, I've got some. So we'll get pea porridge when I reach that skill level. Oatmeal porridge, sweet dough. Wow, it's down here. 40%. So yeah, so if you're wondering how you get these harvesting skills, can be increased by crafting any of these. So wet bread, making potato cubes. These ones relate to digging with the shovel. So the way that you increase that is by either making wet bread, which is by buying the bread from the grocery store, and then it allows you to craft it into little balls of bread for bait, or making potato cubes. Potatoes you can buy over on Winding River, and then you can craft your own by pressing N. You can bring up these, so that shows you your progression. So you start off with the crumb, get one of these loaves that you buy in the grocery store, buy that, select that, make. There we go. We've made 30 pieces from that one loaf, and we've also got 0.2 to harvesting bait skill. And then you can also do the same with potato cubes. Your potatoes, I haven't got any to demonstrate, but your potatoes you buy over on Winding River. So if you find the grocery store on Winding River, and then you turn 180 degrees, look at the gates opposite, go up to those, and that's the farmer's market. And check PM. Okay. The farmer's market. Oh man, awesome. Thank you. We've got cheese and we've got potatoes. Thank you. And a reel. Well, that's awesome, mate. Thank you very much. Would you like me to give those items away to low level players? What level is this? Okay, Drabman. I'll speak to you tomorrow, mate. Good night. Reckless has given us a setup as well. Marvin's given us a load of bait. So we've got loads of bait that we can do giveaways to low level players. So yeah, your potatoes. Once you've bought your raw potatoes from the farmer's market, you can then craft this. When you craft that, you'll obviously get skill points, which will increase this. So you keep going and going. Next one is at 20. That unlocks at 20. This at 25, 25, 30% for semolina porridge, and so on all the way down to 100%. Ground bait. Fishy Dave, I'll tell you about ground bait. Dave, how much silver would you say it costs to go from 0 to making PVA sticks? Give them an idea of how much, if they was to throw silver at it just to get to this point, how much silver would it cost? 14,000 silver. 14,000 silver, guys. So that's a lot of fish caught and sold to get to that point. Dave, probably 14, 15. Your main character, that's pretty much all you did, was crafting ground bait. Yeah. If you want to get up to that. So obviously each component unlocks different ingredients. So pearl barley comes in at level 2. Level 3 oat flakes. Level 4 ground peas. That's a good one. Level 4 is when you can start making carp mix. Carp mix is level 4. Level 5 is not sure what you can craft at level 5. Green baits, is it? Level 6, I know, is tench mix comes in there. Level 7, not sure about that. But yeah, that's pretty much with my main account as far as I've got, level 6. Fish on. Another point on flow fishing. Eyed. So yeah, and the other thing to do in between waiting for fish is buy that shovel and just keep using it and using it, and eventually, like, you'll still get these points. They'll become less and less, so it might take you might get to a point where you use it 100 times before you get another skill point. Dig and dig, exactly. But at low level, you're getting worms. So I've got two worms there, and I've got another 0.2 on harvesting baits. So just keep using it, keep making that bread, keep crafting those potatoes, and then whatever unlocks next, do that. There we go. What's Damp done? What have you done there, Damp? Be right back, chat. Need a break after losing that curry. Oh, you've not lost a curry, chat. No. I think I might have put a couple in, or put one in for worms as a demonstration the other day. But yeah, you don't need. My main account didn't have any points in this for well into well over level 30 before I put any points in it. What you do get as a new player, obviously, if you're not really, you're not knowledgeable and you've thrown some points in and you regret putting them where you've put them, you can always you've got a free reset, so you can reset all these points and then save them, and then once you do know which route you want to go down, whether it's float fishing, spinning, or bottom, or crafting ground bait, just keep hold of them. Let them build up. I've currently got 7. I've actually used 5 on bottom fishing, 2 on spinning, and 2 on float. 1 on harvesting baits. Yeah, when you know a little bit more about the game, just let them build up. Let them build up. You're not coming to any harm by not using them. And you'll be a bit more you'll know a bit more about the game when you reach like level 16, 17, 18 and where you want to put them. Yeah, you only get 1 free reset. After that, you've got to pay if you check. See, to reset float fishing would cost you 5 gold, and the only way you get gold is by buying it real money, or if you win it in one of the gold and premium comps that they run. So each one of those would cost 5 gold to reset. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gold in total to reset all your skills if you've put points. So even though you've only put 1 point in that, it's still going to cost you 5 gold. Or you could have 30 points invested and it would cost you 5 gold. So yeah. Or like Dave does, he pinches his wife's credit card and spends on it. Yeah. He gives streamers donations, but he uses his wife's money. Don't you, Dave? Very kind of you. You know, I'm not knocking it. She's not realised yet. What's Dempsey? It was over 10 easy. Went immediately red. Oh man. Schoolboy error earlier on Burma. I put the rod down on Burr Lake, the carp rod, and I must have by accident left it with the friction brake turned up to max, and I was playing a fish, and then next minute it came up saying it was beeping, and then it said the line was torn. So I lost 50 silver hook, a whatever silver top of the range method feeder as well, and some of my line. She did not realise she's too busy buying shoes on eBay. Yeah, Rave Wolf, you know, it's one of them games where obviously you can just jump in and play it, but the more you know, the better it becomes. And I'm coming up to like best part of a year spent playing it. So I've made mistakes, don't get me wrong. There you go, Fishy Dave's giving you a tip there. If you snap your starting telestick like this one, what you start off with, if you do break it, you can go and get a free one from the if you go back to Cottage Pond and you go up to the cottage itself, the little shack, and press not sure what button you press now, Dave, because it's now if you go up to it and press E, you get the option to store your gear. But you can get a free tench, yay, a free bamboo cane and line and float and hook. Oh, that's how you've been getting the free worms? Yeah, because it gives you some bait as well, yeah. Yeah, they've now added the storage facility at the cottage. You can actually store your old gear, so that's what I did earlier on with this one. I took a load of items out that people had sent over, and just wanted to go back to basics. And weights, yeah, and the little lead shot. Right, let's have a look at this other spot around here, see if there's any tench lurking, because there's not much happening here. Your real speed, here's a tip for you. If you hold shift, you can also hold R down for your retrieval speed, so you can turn that up to 50. And then that'll wind quicker, so you can see him winding much quicker. But if you hold shift down and click, it's like twice as quick. Right, if we go around here, right, I'm going to show you where I used to fish for them. So if you come round, yeah, no, it's a little bit further than the ford. Right, if you keep walking round and you get to these two boulders, you want to fish. I always fish in this spot here, and I cast my feeder rods into this weed. So in these areas here, normally good for tench. So around them lily pads, in this weed here, if you stand here, is a good spot. Let's try it with, I've got a couple of pieces of cheese. Cheese is really good. If you can get hold of cheese, or if you know somebody what can send you a bit of cheese, because it's normally out of stock here. I've got 2 pieces. We'll see if we can get a tench. So just cast down there like that. Put your rod down. And then with your telestick, again, I think it's a 114 is a good depth. So change to 114. I'm going to put caster on here. Oh yeah, you sent some cheese, Limitless. Yeah, thank you. Fish on the edge of these lilies. Yeah, damps over on Kurid, Dave. Not having a good time by the sounds of it. So yeah, sorry guys, you want to know where I am on the map, so you can always check coordinates. So your coordinates are in the little compass on down at bottom right. So the 2 sets of numbers, 31, 33, that's where I am. Or you can check map, and I'm actually here in this area here. So just down from campsite here, and just up from the ford. What have we got? Something I'm gonna go at it. Come on, fish. Oh, you've got a tench at last. Nice. I think this is a tench playing around with this. Nope. Roach. Maggot. Well, we'll give maggot a go, Dave, if that's what you're recommending. Now, I've not even looked at crafting ground bait with you. Balls of ground bait. Again. Ground bait. Can I make anything? I haven't got any mixtures. I've got a bite here again, straight away. Boing. Another point. There we go. Come on, fishies. So this is one. Another tench spot. I think with cheese we would have a bit more success. I don't really want to use cheese on this float, really light float setup. The cheese on the Lacerti and the Sorrento is a bit better. You lost another Kura. What have we got? What's wrong then, Dan? Something not right there, mate. You're losing fish like that. Just look. Yeah. It could also have been, you could also have pulled the hook. I did it the other day on burr. I'd had a carp on. It was probably about 10 kilo common. I could see the fish in front, and I got it probably out as far as where that float is now. But I had a really big bend on the carp rod, and I saw the hook just ping out the fish. It just went flying back towards me. So yeah, I think you've got to don't put as much pressure on the fish if you can. Yeah. The fish, it like did one of those, it turned and sort of did a surge and tried to run. And I was trying to bully it a bit too much, and I literally pulled the hook straight out of the fish. I just put it down to the Dominator carp rods because they're so powerful, and I was putting a lot of pressure on it. Big fish were pinging off. I think you must be putting too much pressure on them then. if that's the case. And I know definitely that's what I did. I had too much pressure on it. I should have made the angle, the bend on the rod, the angle less. And you've been chasing them with the boat. Right, I'll show you a couple more spots on this one, and then we'll move over onto my other account. So the other spots are on the opposite side. Right. So here's a good, obviously, somewhere to try. If your usual spot where you are isn't working, give here a go. You know where it is. So it's this area, 3133. To get back, if you want to get back quick to the village, if you walk along, look in the water, you look for the logs, not these sort of logs, not those, but if you look for the long, like, straight ones, like this, and you walk along it, and then you just jump off, it teleports you back here. So we'll check if there's an order for any of these fish. I've got one big enough. Roach. Need 5 of. So I don't think I've got any of them. So let's sell what I've got, and we'll have a look at them other spots. So 30 silver's worth. So I've got 1, 2, 3 more spots to show. So this week has been probably the hottest spot in the game. And it was just around here. But I think it's been moved now. I don't think you'll catch as many. Yeah, you can try it. It's still a good area. But this was the spot for... It's dead now. This was the spot for tench. This area here. Casting into them lilies there. Into this bit on the edge of here. Fishing on the edge of this, like, duckweed or whatever it is. Fish there. That was a good area. About 1.2, I think it is. 1.2 meters deep there. And then with your bottom rods, casting over there, that way, like that. Now Dravman, he's gone off. He's from Bulgaria. He's a reasonably new player. I think he's only been playing about a week, and he's now level 18. Yeah, the quads. So this is it here. So you're near the 6 meter hole, but you're only fishing in the edge for the tench. Yeah, he's only been playing a week. He's level 18, and he had a 6 kilo trophy tench from that spot, and a load of others like 5s and 4s, all from there. So that's another one to keep in mind. Then if you run along here, you can actually cut over here. There's another little shack. Little haunted shack. Nothing in it. Then if you come down behind it, This takes you into the back pond. Here. So we're here now. 2 meter hole there. So let me just find the spot. If you come down from the corner and you walk along to this point here, this was a good area for tench. Again, float rod on edge of edge of the lilies. Can't get far enough out with this one. There, but your feeder rods. Let's just get one. All you want to do with the feeders is just a short cast, just over the other side of that. Put it down here. That was always a good spot. Check message. Check message. Tio. Oh, tench mix. Thanks, Tio. Yeah, another thing, another tip. If you're new, you might not know. Hold your U key down. It brings up this quick select. You can then drag and drop items in for your what keys 1, 2, and 3 for quick selecting. So if I hit 3 now, get balls of grain bait, and just toss them out there like that. And then your backspace puts it away. So here we are, we're at, this is the other spot. I've got one more that I know that produces fish. Before we leave. See if I can get this in a better spot. There we go, that's better. Oh yeah, you can check how many fish in it. Thanks, Dave. Press Q for bring your messages up. Click on the cog. And then it shows you the area where you are. So this is Sleepy Hollow. There's actually 14 players in this spot. So it must be fishing okay. The people must be catching. If I switch to that channel, join, you can actually see, there you go, people are catching straight away. Somebody's just had a grass carp. Bye. Another point. Really should have got that Bolognese Rod. We could have been testing that out. Here we go. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's taking line, whatever it is. I've got one, Dave. It's just over at Cottage Pond in the shack. I just put it there before. Looks like there's fish here, guys. This is not a bad fish. Can't put too much pressure on it. I'm only using 5 kilo setup. be careful not to walk along that log and fall in, otherwise you lose the fish and you get reset back to village. It asks you your region. Ah, does it? I haven't logged on with Steam. I've seen the Steam option when I've logged in, but I didn't try it. I didn't fancy creating a new character. So that's how it knows where you are then, Savanster. That's how it knows which box to put you in. Right, people are catching grass carp, gibble, common roach. Rod's here, Rod Schneider. Hey Rod. Seems so. I'll log in and see if it's every time or just that first time. So when you logged in, Savanster, with the Steam, did you, obviously you used your Steam credentials. Are all the Bolognese rods lowish load capacity? The one I have is. I'm not sure what kg they go up to. They're a step between Telestick and match rods. You logged in directly with nothing entered. Here we go, tench guys. There you go. So the tench look like they're here now. So people that were struggling to find them before, looks like we've found the spot where they've migrated to. So like I said before, it's just a little tiny cast, 20%, 25, 28%, just gets you on the other side of them lilies, weed, just fish there. And interesting, no, the default user ID was the last one I'd logged in with before I did the Steam install. Okay. What bit? I'm using cheese though, so cheese for tench. We've got some cheese to if you're new and you haven't got any cheese and you want to give it a try, we can send some your way. But yeah, for tench, cheese, they love cheese. You know, you can get them on other things, but the best way to get them is with cheese. So that's here. Make a note of that, guys. That's where I am. 6022 coordinates. Let me pick this up. And then we'll move on. I'll show you the one of the other favourite spots. Not necessarily for tench, but for a decent amount of fish. Which way is it? This way. So run back this way. Towards the little footbridge. So back to this footbridge, go across. Now, people have been catching from here as well. So just casting into this channel, not a channel. You can catch on this side, but the spot I want to show you is, it was probably my favourite spot for, don't know, 2 months maybe. I fished nowhere else apart from here. And it was, you walk along this first lot of wooden planks to the end, and you get to this bit. So dead silver birch and dead tree stump in the water. It's about 1.4 meters deep. So you set your float to like 1.35 is a good depth, I think. And you fish just on the edge of that weed there. So fish there. If you're using your bottom feeders, you can put one, not there, just try and cast a bit straighter, on the edge of these reeds here. Like there. And the other one, I normally put this way, so you can, there's like lilies and weed there, so just cast it in there and then drop your rod here. So there we go, and we think we've got a fish on here. Nope, missed it. When it goes dark, I've caught eels here as well, but the way I've caught the eels is by moving the float pretty close to that tree, like there. And you'll get eels in this area, definitely. Chub, there we go, nice chub. Just have to move back a bit to get the. That's the beauty of the Bolognese rod. You can swap to it, and then you can cast out, and then just wind it back until you're like just perfect in that little spot there. You know, I'm like between the weed and the little clump of weed, just a little bit what's detached between them both. Rocho. Let me switch back to my group. Oh, bite. Wait for it. Nearly went then. I would have missed it. Let's wait. Now it's going. Another chub. Looks like a chub area. Just pull it into position. What I'll do before I log out of this account, I'll go and get the Bolognese rod. We'll have a quick look at it. Roach. Okay. Let's go and get that Bolognese rod. No, I'll keep hold of the fish. I've only got 6. I'll get rid of those when we end. Let's go back to Cottage Pond. Right. Okay, so Dave mentioned about getting the free Crazy Fish is struggling. Here we go. Oh, there you go. Get spur tackle. Walk up to the ice, you press Y. So we press Y, there we go, succeeded. If I check my inventory now, we've now got this bamboo rod. We've been given this old line, what's it called? Soviet Union old fishing line. Probably made from cat gut, something like that. An old feather float. There we go, so there's the old quill float. And a dirty, rusty old hook. That's what you get for free. That's all you're getting. But at least you can carry on fishing. And now they've added the ability to store items in the actual building. So I've stored some stuff over here already. But what we want is this Bolognese Rod. So if we click the blue icon, click the rod, you can then send it to your backpack, or you can right click. Let's put that away. Right click it and move to backpack that way. Okay, so I can now set up a Bolognese Rod. Now this Bolognese Rod is 4 kilos, so it's not very powerful. It's these are 5, so it's just a little bit a kilo under what your Sorrentos are. But yeah, we've now got that. None of the rigs are unlocked, just got a fixed float rig, which is the same as what we've been using on the Telestick. I can stick a reel on it. Now it's a 4 kilo one. My reel is 5 kilos. 5.5. But you should be okay. So I'm going to take one of these off here. Have I got any line that can go with it? No, we'll have to buy some line. So let's put that on there. I've got a float. I've got that float. So I'm going to need to get a new float as well. So I need some line and a float and maybe a different hook as well. Some sort of happy hook would be good. Okay, so we've picked that up. Let's go back. Is there anything else in here that I need? Got some cheese. Let's add cheese. Move that back over. And we'll go back to Oldberg. Yeah, Oldberg. Well, let's kit this Bolognese Rod out, and I'll show you how much it would have cost to buy while we're here. So reel, I'm using this lxCROSSYxl, so you can get it slightly cheaper at Mosquito. I think it's 98 at Mosquito. It's even cheaper still over on Winding River, but never in stock, so don't bother with going really. 98 over on Mosquito. Rod I'm using now is, where are the Bolognese rods? Have I gone past them? Here we go. This is the equivalent. The one I'm using is now discontinued. If I look, we look down. This is the one I've got. It's discontinued. The new version is this one. So this is Bolognese Rod 2. So yeah, you don't really want this one. It's too long. It's 7 meters long. Stick to the 4 or the 5. Get one of those two. 61 plus your 98. So you're looking about 160 for that, and then your line. I'm going to use one of these bulk spools, and I'm going to put 3.5 on it. Don't want to bust the rod. So the line is less than the rod and the reel as well. I also need a float. Let's buy a float. This is a good float. I like this. This one. It's a little bit more expensive. It's 20, but it's higher rating. Let's buy one of them. And we need a hook. Happy hooks. These. Good for silverfish. Courtesy of TD for Life. He put me onto these ones. He uses them all the time. So I'm gonna buy a couple. I'm gonna buy an 18 and a 16 to start me off. And that'll do it really. I think we can kit that Bolognese Rod out now. So let's put that line on. So always buy the bulk spool. Don't bother with these unless this is good for the telestick. But for an actual spinning reel, use a bulk spool. Fill it up. Float. We've got our new classic round. Hook. We're going to put an 18 on. And bait. I'm going to use Madget. Okay. Let's drop that in the quick select slot. There. Let's give it a go. So come back, gone full circle, come back to this one here. I think it's about 130. Try 130. So now we can fish with a float proper. You can wind it exactly where you want it. Enter key opens and closes your bail arm. Bit of wind there though blowing. That's why the float's doing that. That's wind's blowing. 7.2 meter wind. That's quite strong. Come on, give us a bite. I want to see it go under that float. Not used one of them for a while. Here we go. I think we've got a bite here. Here we go. Definitely. Something having to do with it. And we've got a tench straight away. New achievement, new opportunities. Little tench. Let's try again. good beauty about it is you can like overcast and then draw it back to where you want it. Let's find my channel again. If you can master it like the Bolognese Rod, master the strike, because now you use the right mouse button to strike, whereas before with the Telestick you just press the left mouse button. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying now, reckless. Yeah, to strike, you set the hook with the right mouse. So it's a little bit more tricky, but once you get the knack of it, there we go, bite straight away. You'll catch loads of fish. It's really quick. Also, you need to watch the bite pattern. But that, guys, is pretty much it now until 60% skill on float fishing, when you'll then switch to match rods. Nice char damp. What, live bait perch? Yeah. Oh, see, missed that one. Catch one more and then I'll bring this first part to a close. We'll switch to the other account and do some big fish fishing. And a couple of giveaways. So is there any low level players in chat? Say, you know, started today, just come over on Steam. Rave Wolf Deal level 9. So you're probably the lowest level then that's in the stream at the moment. Hey. Right, let's have a look what Razor sent. Razor sent a reel and some cheese and some potato. Oh, bite. Damn. If you're in chat and you need some cheese, here we go. Can you give me your in-game name, and I'll share this cheese out that the guys have sent before I leave this account. That wind stopped now. Look how good that float looks. Yeah. Right. Let's go and flog these fish. So is there nobody in chat that wants any cheese or some stuff that Marvin sent as well? You can send some to my new guy if you want, but it will be a while before he has gear that can use. Yeah, you might as well wait, Savantster. Let's sell this. I'll bring this one to an end. It depends if you want. If you know, you will attract tench. Tench don't necessarily grow. Like the biggest in that I've seen is probably 7 kilos. So you can land it. They don't fight quite as hard as a common carp. So yeah, if you're careful, you can land them on really light gear. But if you want some cheese, Rave Wolf, I can give you. I can send some your way. Let's have a look where you are. Just be careful with it. There you go. Now you've all seen the spots for tench and places on here on Old Berg and over on Mosquito. So I'll bring this one to a close. Stick around, and I'll log into my other account, and we'll do some big fish fishing and some giveaways. Right, guys, catch you shortly.